I have a particular responsibility when it comes to taking back control. It is to end the free movement of people once and for all. That's the lesson I took from the very person who inspired me to join our party. A Conservative Prime Minister elected 40 years ago this year. Margaret Thatcher knew that if you... Margaret Thatcher knew that if you made the British people your compass, are not based on some economic theory, but on things that I and millions like me were brought up with. An honest day's work for an honest day's pay. Live within your means, pay your bills on time.
Something illusory.
And
though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there.
The Priti Patel scandal. She was acting effectively as a fifth columnist, engaging under the radar with a foreign state and also with commercial interests within that foreign state, and saying, we can mobilize the resources of our own state to help you. And I'm not going to tell anyone, I'm going to keep this all below the radar. I want to transfer foreign aid, which the taxpayers of my country are paying in the expectation that it goes to help people who are in dire need. I want to transfer this to the Israeli military, the armed forces of another state. If you or I did something like that, we would be had for high treason or whatever the current charge might be. This is profound subversion of the very basis of the state. The people who claim to be the guardians of the nation, the upholders of patriotism, are actually the biggest subversives in the country.
an honest day's work for an honest day's pay.
You were having unauthorised meetings with senior Israeli figures, including Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It looked sneaky. It looked like a cabinet minister was going around the back of her boss and exercising a bit of power play, building up relations with allies and so on. Why were you doing it?
Well, I disagree with that. And I take the view that, you know, as a politician, we all know other politicians around the world. You know, whether you are abroad, on business or even on holiday, I think it's remiss if you don't actually go and meet people that you know. And that's what I did. There was no malice intended.
Shouldn't you tell your boss, though, when you're meeting
Well, you know, in hindsight, of course, Piers, absolutely, in hindsight. And that's why I left the government, because obviously it caused clear difficulties.
Hang on a moment.
And I apologise.
I wouldn't have thought it was about hindsight. If you're going to meet the Prime Minister of Israel, foresight should tell you that you would tell your own leader, the Prime Minister of the UK.
I think it's fair to say I have accepted that. I apologise. There was no malice intended whatsoever at the time, and I, you know, left the government. And
why did you meet him?
Well, he's somebody that I know. I've met him before, and I had the opportunity. I had the opportunity to meet him. And to be fair, as I've said, you know, when I've been abroad before, and politicians do know other politicians around the world. And I would have thought, you know, for your viewers in particular, it's a good thing that politicians actually in this country get on with other politicians.
I don't disagree with that. But if I was your...
So as we renew our place as the party of law and order in Britain, let the message go out from this hall today. To the British people, we are coming after you.
There are no more barriers to cross. All I have in common with the uncontrollable and the insane, the vicious and the evil, all the mayhem I have caused and my utter indifference toward it, I have now surpassed. My pain is constant and sharp, and I do not hope for a better world for anyone. In fact, I want my pain to be inflicted on others. I want no one to escape.